Hey, this is comedian Flame Monroe, and join me this Friday for an interview with my friend Chris Greer and his lovely fiancee, Miss Lisa, for Lights, Camera, Action. It is an interview of old times, new times, and future times that you just do not want to miss. We got down to the nitty-gritty, and we also might have touched a little titty. Oh, so join Chris and Lisa on Lights, Camera, Action. Follow Chris Greer at Christopher A. Greer on Facebook. He's a wonderful actor and a high school friend, and you guys really want to hear this conversation.
Let me see something, Sorry, Miss Jackson.
All right. We are here with the one and only lovely Flame Monroe.
Yay! Ooh, look at all those people screaming in the back.
Right.
Now, first of all, for everybody that's out there, me and Flame have known each other for decades. I'm not going to tell her age. I can tell mine.
I was going to say
just subtraction and stuff like that. But we ain't going to even go there.
He used to babysit me. Just so y'all know. Don't be trying to put my age out there. Knock it off, Chris Greer.
First of all, he didn't even say welcome and thank you for being on Lights, Camera, Action.
Yes.
Christopher Greer and Felicia Green. It is a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
We know you've been traveling and busy, and you could have did everything and anything but be here.
And if I could have thought of a perfect lie, I wouldn't be here now. But I couldn't think of a good lie that would have just solidified it. So I was like, damn, you gotta go.
Just say you got diarrhea. Just say that. And we were like, oh.
Well, I'm a trans woman. That don't sound good to say. There's a lot of components that go with that.
I got it now.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Yeah, me and Chris known each other since high school. We were in a high school band together.
Yeah.
Chris was a year ahead of me.
Yeah.
Actually 2, because I did 5 years of high school. No, you was only 1 year. You was 82, I was 83. But I didn't graduate till 84. I don't care. I'm going to tell them I'm a woman too. They going to believe what they want to believe.
Flame. We got a couple questions for you. Matter of fact, about 4 or 5 of them. Do you remember any of them?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, so she's going to ask you a couple of questions. I'm just going to just talk.
Well, you're not giving them enough history of us, Chris. They need to know how we know each other and why we know each other. So you need to
start
tell.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to hear this too.
See, she don't know. They want to know.
Okay, well, we met at Chicago Vocational High School, which is now CVCA's Chicago Vocational Career Academy.
Oh, they changed the name?
Yeah, they changed.
Tell you what I know.
So we met. We were in the band. I played trumpet. Flame played clarinet.
I started off with saxophone.
Oh.
Then I went to clarinet. Then I went to flute. But Harold Anthony Bray, may he rest in peace, saw something in me that I didn't see because I was so good at reading music. He put me on that oboe. I hated it the first 3 days, and then I fell in love with it.
Yeah, that oboe has a sound. It kind of reminds me of.
It's unique.
It is.
It fits me.
It had 2 reeds to it.
It was a double reed, yeah.
It had a double reed.
It was very hard to blow.
Yeah.
Oh well. We're talking about the oboe right now. Not a hobo, but the oboe. Okay. We're gonna keep this interview interesting.
Now,
he was an amazing teacher, though.
He was, and we learned a lot from him about life,
About life.
music. We were the best when it came to music.
We were.
Couldn't nobody mess with us.
The most amazing times I remember, Chris, when we were in band practice was after, and we had been rehearsing, like when we did The Marriage of Figaro. When we had it and Bray was happy, he sat on that podium and he had this weird, he looked like a bug, first of all, let's talk the truth. He had these huge clear frame glasses, he had a little bitty face, he was a very tall, lean man. And you would hardly ever get a compliment, but the smile that we would put on his face when he was up there, he wouldn't stop us, he would let us go. We knew that we were pleasing him, which is what we wanted to do. We wanted to please this man, because if you didn't hear, you shouldn't hear with the baton. But it wasn't the fear, it was the love that he knew, that we knew that he had for us, because he really did care. He really cared about his students. He was just a nightmare. He would have went to jail for some of the stuff that he put on us. But looking back on it, I wish my children could have had that, because he put so much fire in me. Like, do it, get it. You're going to get it done, or I'm gonna beat you. Like, he didn't really beat us, but he did some things that made you get it done. He put a fire up under all of us. We became better people outside of being musicians.
Yeah.
Some of the people that I've met from the band have said the same thing about him, and where they are now, I can tell that drive that was instilled back then is there now, especially with Christopher.
Yeah, he was the greatest teacher I ever had my whole life. He was the meanest one too, but he was the greatest teacher I ever had, because he, like Chris said, he taught us life lessons. He would sit and talk to us. When anything went left, even in his personal life, he would sit on the podium and talk to us like we were his friends.
Yeah. Exactly.
We knew not to say anything. We just listened.
Okay.
It was just a great experience, and you know who made me get in the band? Levi Raspberry. Levi. Levi Jackson. He played the trombone, and we were in algebra together. And he said, "You want to join the band?" And I was like, "No," because I would see those doors, and you saw the two doors. It was called the Beehive, and I was terrified to ever open those doors, because in high school, Felicia, I was about 4'11" for the first 2 years. I was really tiny.
Yeah.
Not this mouth though, but I was really tiny. And I was terrified because I was so little, but I had that was the best experience until I found, Flame.
Right.
That was a whole nother experience.
That's a good segue.
When did you develop the persona of Flame Monroe?
You know what, Chris? If you look back in high school, I am the exact same person outside the titties and the body that I was in high school. I was simple, but Chris was. So let me be very honest and transparent and fair. Chris didn't have many dealings with me. We were in the band together, but because I was so me and Chris was so different from me, he never treated me bad. He never called me out my name. He never was disrespectful, but he was distant. And I respect that more than some of the other people I went to school with the name calling, the bullying and harassment. So that always made it like, and so our connection was Sandra Ebenezer, a girl who was in the band with us. So because she had this thing for Chris, oh my gosh, she was in love with Chris. So I had to hear about a Chris Chronicle every fucking day. I'm like,
you know when I found that out?
You didn't know?
A few months ago.
Yeah.
She
came in town.
Oh my God, Chris, it wasn't up. She laid it out for you on the table.
The crazy thing is, I meet her, right? And so I tell him, we get in the car, I said, dude, she was checking for you. It's like, really?
She was in love with Chris in high school. You didn't know that, Chris?
No.
Oh my
She
God.
told the stories, it's like me talking about him.
And I had to hear it every single day. I'm like, well, girl, tell him. I don't know what to do. He ain't gonna like me because I'm big. I'm like, girl, P ain't got no face. And we're in high school, but she was so madly in love with you, Chris. So that was like our connection, because Sandra talked about you every single day, and that was my hangout buddy.
I didn't know.
Women always know.
I didn't know until a few months ago.
Oh yeah, so that was our connection. So I appreciated and I respected that, because he was over there, but I didn't cross that line to go over there, and he didn't come over here harassing and bullying me, so it was cool. So that's why I was like, it was easy for me to say yes, because no is one of my favorite words.
You and me both. I know a couple of years ago, and it's extended. So I definitely understand that. So what a phenomenal segue. So as Chris asked, when did you develop Flame Monroe?
So when I graduated high school, it took 5 years because my mother was on drugs, and it was many days I missed school because I didn't have money to get there, because we didn't live out here. We lived in low end. We lived on 39.
Oh.
And I just didn't care about school. And then Bray left at the 83. Because our class, I thought, was the greatest class of all the years.
Right.
Because we had Bray all those years. Y'all did too.
Yeah, we had Bray. And Bray, after I graduated in 82,
Yeah.
and went to Bethune-Cookman College
Yeah.
in Daytona Beach, Florida. That's where Bray went. And he gave me a scholarship.
And he gave me a 4-year scholarship to play the oboe as a musician because I was second chair All City Orchestra and first chair All City Band.
Wow.
But my mother Valerie was just there was no support, you know, and so I was like, I don't want to go away to Florida. That's a long way away. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. So I never went. I started going out with my friends. We went up north. I went to the gay bars. I went to the Baton. I was like, ooh, I would never do drag. I never want to be a drag queen. Lo and behold, Halloween came. Baby, I did drag one time on Halloween. 30 years later, never regretted it. I always wondered what my life would have been like though had I pursued my music because I wanted to be a concert musician. I did. That's what I wanted to do. But you tell God what you want and God be like,
Exactly.
dude, if you don't knock it off.
I think through some of the things of our lives, we think we want to do one thing, but deep down it's something else. Like your personality, you so bubbly. I could not see you standing behind an instrument.
Oh, but I loved it. I'm telling you, Felicia, when I tell you that you couldn't get a better feeling when the whole band was in unison and we had been practicing and the music sounded good to us.
Right.
It was beautiful. And you would see Bray smiling and he would have that baton and he wouldn't stop and he would because when you make a mistake he'd stop you. When we would go, oh my God, I wish I could relive some of those moments. I wish we had social media back then. I'm glad we didn't, but I wish we did to have those memories. Because good God, I got put in a couple of lockers, got caught in a couple of locker rooms, all kind of stuff.
You know, standard high school stuff.
No, but now we're like the military. Don't ask. Shh, don't tell. So I did that, and then I did a drag show, my very first drag show at the Baton in '86, I think it was, and I was terrible. And so we were going to the black clubs up north. That was Club Lorraine's and the Clubhouse. And so my mentor, who died, her name was Tasha Thomas. She was a queen who I just thought she was everything. She was funny. She wasn't pretty, but she was outrageously funny. And I was studying her and didn't know that I was studying her. And so she got fired from work one night. So a guy named Mark, may he rest in peace, because AIDS took so many of my friends. He said, Flame, I want you to host the show. I said, absolutely not. I never saw myself on the microphone. I'm like, I'm not shy or nothing. That's just not what I want to do. I said, they're not going to like me. So he said, do it next week. So next week I came and did it. I was terrible. I was terrible. He said, come back again and do it the next week. I said, they don't like me. He said, do it again. I did it again. I was worse the second week than I was the first week. I was.
Do you think it was fear?
I think it was everything. Yeah. And then the gay community was always so judgmental. And so I wanted to be, but I couldn't because I didn't know what to do. Right. So the third, he said, we'll give you one more chance. I said, I don't want to do it. I just want to be the show girl. So I did it the next week and somebody yelled, heckled me and said, oh my God, you're horrible. And I tore that ass up. And when I did that, the house erupted. I was like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay. I've been a host and an MC and a comedian ever since.
Oh my God.
Some of the worst experiences bring out the best.
But you know what's so funny though, Felicia, is that, like you said, sometimes people see in you things that you don't see. Because I never saw this for me. Was I funny in high school? I was quick because I had to be because people was always at me. But I didn't never think I was funny. I just thought I was quick. I had a comeback. That comeback got my ass whooped quite a few times.
But they can't touch you right now. So
as long as I got this wrong.
Now, I saw your special. You like which one?
Oh no, the Tiffany Haddish special. They read.
The Tiffany Haddish special. She read. You tore it up, and I was like on social media telling everybody, that's Flame, that's Flame.
You can say the other name. You know I don't get no. Oh, get my fan for me, Felicia. That's what I forgot. My fan, my he, she, we fan. I'm cool with people calling me Marcus, especially if you know me from before I became Flame. Now, if I introduce myself to you as Marcus, and somebody else as Flame, and somebody else tell you, oh, that's Mark, and then I didn't give you that right or that privilege, so you get checked.
Right.
And I check you good.
Right. I can only imagine.
So I got so many inboxes from people in high school, but this is my pronoun, he, she, we. This was on the actual special, but they cut it out. I was told by one of the producers, whose name I will not mention, was like, "Oh, it's going to offend the community." I'm like, "How? It's my pronoun. It's what I prefer.
Right, right.
I'm not the she or the he. I'm both, and I'm so all of us." But it was just. That was a great thing that Tiffany did for us to give us those specials. They paid us like white men. They paid us ridiculous money. And I got so much work after that. And then the pandemic hit and stopped everything.
Right.
My career was about to blossom. And the pandemic said, stop.
So during that time, because a lot of people are saying that was a time of reflection, a time to determine what you're going to do next. Was that the same thing for you?
Absolutely not. I went straight to work. I take the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club probably did more for my career than They Ready did.
I love that
The
show.
very first Breakfast Club interview I did with the gold and the blonde hair, when I talked about who I was, I brought people in to me because I never come to meet you. On stage, I don't come to you.
Right.
You will come to me or you will miss me.
Right.
Because that takes too much energy for me to come to you. I'm already extreme. I'm already different from what you're normally used to seeing. So I allow an audience to come to me. But I'm patient.
Right.
Because 15, 20 minutes in, you might not like, my presentation is weird, especially for straight men. You know, it's like, ooh, but I see you. I'm gay, not blind.
Right, right.
Women have choices, so do trans women.
Exactly.
She can have your fat ass. I don't want you. Always a fat one too. Like, don't be by me, dude. On your best day, nothing.
If you pray for
You can't get me hard or wet. Neither one. So when Tiffany did that, it was just so amazing. And then when we did I got so much controversy behind it. And I only went on there as a comedian with the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne didn't want me on there. Charlamagne hired me the same day. Charlamagne gave me a job the exact same day, so iHeart hired me and paid me lovely money. Thank you, iHeart. And that's where it's just been rolling from there. But so they like my political set, but I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do a late night talk show. I want to be fun. I want to talk about relationships because, you know, I've been the husband and the wife sometimes in the same night, depending on who turn it was and how much money was involved. So I think I'm really good at I'm good at talking about being from the women's aspect and from the male aspect because I've been the boyfriend and the girlfriend. I had a boyfriend, we had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend, we had a boyfriend. I ain't never missed nothing.
I got confused.
I did.
But you know what I appreciate, Chris, is that my new demographic of fans are now, because I'm so free and because of social media, because nobody believed when I would stand on stage before social media or They Ready, when I say I'm a father of 3 and I'm looking like this. Yeah. Nobody believed that. They Ready gave me an opportunity for people to let down the shield and say, oh, this just one of us. This fool just got some titties, you know? Right. And straight men love that I talk about women in a positive way. They love that I talk about having sex with women. They love that I talk about having sex with a woman and with a man. So it let down the fear of, oh, Flame ain't at me. Flame just want to get me to laugh. So because a lot of times there used to be this gay thing like, oh, if you laugh at Flame because she trans, you gay. That don't make you gay. It was funny. If it's funny, it's funny. If it's not, it's not. But people had to find that out. And so Tiffany, that's what Tiffany did for me. She allowed people to say, oh, Flame real regular. Y'all just have never seen it because nobody would give me the opportunity. Even though I did Comic View in 2004 and 5. And they tried to market me as a female. I'm like, I'm a lot of things, but I ain't never passed as no girl. I know some beautiful trannies, but I was never one of the ones that I could fool nobody. Right. When you came to play, you knew what you was playing with.
Right. So going back to the Tiffany Haddish special, did you get a call or did you do an audition? What was it like?
So I met Tiffany at a club years ago in California, the Comedy Union, which is closed after the pandemic. And she's like, are you a drag queen? I was like, yeah, she didn't know I was a comedian. And I went up and blazed the room. And she's like, you was funny. So when I did Botch, they fixed my left boob because this one was gangbanging. It was leaning to the left. And she introduced me. This was before Girls Trip. She had taped it, but it hadn't dropped. Okay. And I asked her to introduce me for the reveal. And nobody knew who Tiffany was. I told the producer, I said, y'all need to watch this girl. This girl is going to be a phenomenon. She said, Flame, when I make it, I'm coming back to get you. Well, lo and behold, about 6 months later, Girls Trip dropped, and everybody knew Tiffany Haddish's name. And she called me a year before we taped They Ready. She said, get ready, I got a project for you. She said, get you a 30 minutes ready, and I got a project for you. I said, you want me to do all new stuff? She said, no, definitely bring back some of that old stuff. I love that police thing, and I love that Vegas joke. You have to put that on there. So we went through the rituals of going to the shows with some of the producers, and they kept taking me to audiences that were not my audience. audience. I can't work a gay room for comedy.
Right.
I'm not a gay comedian per se. I talk about everything. I don't say my bird is gay and my cat is gay.
Right.
That shit ain't funny.
Right.
It has to be funny to the person, like an actor. When an actor acts, they gotta feel it in order for you to deliver it. And for order for me to feel it, you gotta believe it. I had to believe it, and I got a lot of opposition. I'm like, this ain't my audience. They took me to one gay club. It was a white gay club in West Hollywood. It wasn't a comedy club. They just had one night of doing gay comedy. All the people went up there before me. All they talked about was eating booty, eating booty, eating booty. I'm sitting here waiting on a joke. I turned and looked at the producer. I said, this ain't my audience because I don't think that shit is funny. They said, you have to be able to work every room. So I take my ignorant ass to the microphone. I said, so what is the after effect of eating booty? Hepatitis C? Oh, they hated me. Oh, they absolutely hated me. They hated me so much that they were going to kick me off the show.
Wow.
But Tiffany said, absolutely not. Flame is going. First series, all 6 of us, out of those 6, they was only able to submit 1 video for the Emmy. Guess who they submitted?
Yo.
Guess who got nominated for the Emmy?
You.
So eating butt is not funny.
Oh my God.
It has to resonate with me.
Right.
You know, and most of my stories have truth to them. You know, I switch them up and make them funny, but the football story is kind of real. The police stopping me is kind of real.
I love
Now, we're going to take a pause right quick because we're going to go ahead and pay our sponsors and pay our bills, and we're going to be back right quick. Flame Monroe.
I'm gonna change hair.
So I was holding off on the COVID booster, thinking, I've been around the block. I take good care of myself. I got this.
But COVID's unpredictable. I could still get it, and who knows how bad. I've got to protect myself, my family, friends, and community. Fact is, vaccines and boosters are the best protection we got against getting seriously ill, or worse.
So I got this. My COVID booster, that extra protection, and believe me, powerful peace of mind.